Hello, my name is Lindsay Sarathe, and this is the American Dream video presentation for Government 307 Introduction to Government with Professor Chris Lee. I chose the Democratic Party as my vision for the American Dream. A little bit of history about the Democratic Party. As defined by the Party Funk and Wagnall's New World Encyclopedia, the Democratic Party is one of two major political parties of the United States that arose out of the coalition formed behind Thomas Jefferson in the 1970s to resist the policies of George Washington's administration. The Democratic Republican Party was founded in 1792 in opposition to George Washington's Federalist Party. The coalition was originally called the Republican Party and later the Democratic Republican Party. The party was split into two factions. The National Republican Party became the Whig Party in 1834, then the Democratic Party. Andrew Jackson's successful 1828 presidential campaign had a large contribution to the Democratic Party. The 1828 presidential campaign also created the Democratic Party's mascot, the donkey. It was during the 1820s that Andrew Jackson led a group of Democratic Republicans to form the Democratic Party. The official start date of the Democratic Party is 1832, when the first nominating convention was held by Democrats. During the beginning of the Civil War, the Democrats dominated politics, winning all but two presidential elections between 1828 to 1856. During the time period of 1840s to the 1850s, the Democratic Party experienced controversy regarding whether slavery should be extended into new territories, and thus divided these two political parties. The Democratic Party splits in the 1860s as a result of a disagreement over slavery and lead up to the Civil War. Northern Democrats and Southern Democrats disagree over the issue of slavery and the Union. The South loses the Civil War in 1865, and the Democratic Party loses its eminence, and the Republican Party takes lead in politics for many years. President Woodrow Wilson adds to advancements in the Democratic Party with women's rights to vote, which is ratified in 1920. The Democratic political party progresses even further with President Franklin Roosevelt, who proposes a second Bill of Rights in which Americans have the right to a decent job, an adequate wage, medical care, and economic protection. During the mid-1960s, Lyndon Johnson passed civil rights legislation and government social programs such as Medicare, Medicaid, and Head Start preschool. During the following years, Democrats and Republicans compete for presidency in the U.S. Barack Obama is the first Democratic African American to be elected president, continuing the rights of African Americans. Four major political theories we have covered in this course are liberalism, conservatism, socialism, and nationalism. Liberalism, as defined by Chapter 4 of the text Political Ideologies and the Democratic Ideal. Liberalism is a political ideology in which the emphasis on individual liberty rests on conception of human beings as fundamentally rational individuals. Liberals value individual liberty and believe that human beings are capable of living freely. Liberalism and democracy have commonalities. Liberalism is evident in democracy through movements that inspire change for women, minorities, and common workers. Liberalism is a philosophy that encourages social movements, radical change, social progress, and social change. Conservatism, from the text Political Ideologies and the Democratic Ideal, what is conservatism? Is not adherence to the old and tried against the new and untried, as said by Abraham Lincoln in the Cooper Union Address. All conservatives share the same desire to preserve or conserve something such as traditions, customs, and what is valued. Conservatives believe that human beings are flawed and imperfect. From the text Political Ideologies and the Democratic Ideal says of conservatism. In the case of conservatism, the fundamental conviction is that human beings are and always will be deeply flawed. This is why some scholars call conservatism the political philosophy of imperfection. As defined by Merriam-Webster Dictionary, conservatism is a political philosophy based on traditions and social stability that stresses established institutions and preferring gradual development to abrupt change. Conservatives believe in lower taxes, limited government regulation, and a strong national defense. Socialism. Socialists deny that people are by nature competitive and self interested. Socialists view human nature as a set of possibilities or potentialities waiting to be realized. Socialism began as a critique of liberalism. Socialists reject self interest, competition, and individual liberty. Socialists do not assign particular value to tradition or custom and believe that private property is a source of class division. According to the text, political ideologies and the democratic ideal, everything that people produce, socialists say, is in some sense a social product, and everyone who participates in producing a good is entitled to share in it. This means that society as a whole, and not private individuals, should own and control property for the benefit of all. Socialists call for programs that distribute wealth and power more evenly throughout society and abolish private property. Socialism calls for a society in which means of production are owned and controlled by the state. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, socialism is any of various economic and political theories advocating collective or governmental ownership and administration of the means of production and distribution of goods. Nationalism. An article titled The Virtues and Vices of Nationalism by F. H. Buckley says of nationalism, instead, the focal point for nationalist and patriotic sentiments is the sense that America has a special mission to promote liberty, as promised by the Declaration of Independence and guaranteed by the Bill of Rights. Nationalism is, in my opinion, patriotism and national allegiance as well as devotion to your country. Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines nationalism, a feeling that people often have of being loyal to and proud of their country, often with the belief that it is better and more important than other countries. The American Dream. I believe the Democratic Party aligns with my understanding of the American dream because it believes in equal rights for women, minorities, supports labor unions, equal opportunity, disability rights, and individual rights. The American dream to me is interpreted as anyone, regardless of skin color, income, where you come from, gender, and social status, can achieve anything they want in this country with hard work, determination, and ethics. The American dream believes that anyone can attain success and upward mobility is possible for everyone. I hope you enjoy this presentation and thank you for being kind, understanding, and such a great professor.